Not bad, not bad. We had a
Yeah,
very nice chat last time we met about
absolutely, man.
everything, about a bunch of things, but especially this concept of fear.
Hmm.
Right? The fear. What does fear mean to you? What is fear?
So it's interesting, man, because when we met up, what was it, like 3, 4 weeks ago, and right as we were leaving, because we went for a walk, and as we were heading back, um, I think it was you that asked me, what am I most, what is my biggest fear, and we both had different answers. My answer, of course, was I have a fear of failure. Like I've always had a really hard relationship or a tough relationship with failure. I'm slowly starting to come around to the idea of failure being a necessary evil, if you will, and like kind of like I more so view failure as feedback because that's how we grow, right? We grow through the mistakes that we make in our lives, right? And that's how we learn to adapt. And so failure, the way I look at it from a different perspective is like when you're shooting a bow and arrow, for example, right? And the overall objective is to hit the bullseye, right? And you're lining up your shot, you take the shot, but you hit the mark completely, right? Well, most people might see that if you're in a fixed mindset, you might see that as like, oh, I failed. I didn't meet my objective, right? Whereas another person who has more of a growth mindset, they view that as feedback and they say, oh, okay, I maybe need to equate for wind change or adjust the angle of my arm or whatever. I'm not an expert at shooting arrows or whatever, but
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying. So, you know, I'm trying to lean more into the growth mindset of like anytime I fail, so to speak, it's an opportunity for me to approach things differently. So, to me, failure by definition is just feedback. That, that's what it is for me. What about you?
It's all about the mindset. I agree. I agree with that part.
Mhm.
It's almost like how do we set the metrics for failure? Like what determines
Mhm.
failure? Like we've been
Yeah.
conditioned through society that we have to meet certain standards, but who are
Mhm.
these standards set by? Who are we supposed to please or impress? Who's the one
Mhm.
that determines what failure really means? That's
Mhm.
those are the little things that I think about when failure pops up. And I've been thinking about that concept quite a bit also. And to me, it comes down to exactly what you said. It's the mindset of what what kind of standards do you set for yourself that determines whether you have succeeded or you have failed. Does it mean like the success mean reaching the goal that you've set for yourself or achieving a certain status or achieving a certain amount
Mhm.
of money? What does it
Mhm.
mean to succeed and what does it mean to fail? So I find that it's a lot of what's behind it is a lot of the mindset work. And
Mhm.
even when it comes to fear, for me, I've been thinking about that quite a bit. Fear for me, it's what I'm personally afraid of is, like I said when we met, is the success.
Same
Because
sex, yeah.
with success, it comes with a lot of responsibilities, and
Mhm.
I feel like looking at the eyes of responsibilities is what makes me afraid. It's like, oh, okay, if you're reaching for success now, whatever metrics you set it by, now
Mhm.
you're taking responsibility for all of your actions. You're not playing that
Mhm.
victim role anymore.
Mhm.
It's like,
Right.
okay, whatever happens to me, I made that happen. I'm gonna stop blaming everybody else in my life. I'm gonna stop blaming things outside of myself, and I have to accept that responsibility
Mhm.
for whatever comes out.
Mhm.